Okay, let's dive right into this. Today on The Explainer, we're unpacking a truly fascinating life sketch. We're looking at a prolific 37-year military career that somehow seamlessly transformed into one of the most high-stakes civilian administration tenures in Pakistan's history. We're talking about Lieutenant General retired Moinuddin Haider. He's a figure whose decisions didn't just shape the armed forces, but literally impacted the everyday lives of millions. So, right off the bat, this begs a pretty massive question. How exactly does a seasoned military commander transition to handling intense internal civilian crises? That is a huge pivot. To understand that immense leap from the battlefield to the bureaucratic front lines, we kind of have to trace this journey right back to its foundation and look at the environment that forged his leadership in the first place.
His story is actually rooted in the very creation of the nation itself. He was born in British India back in 1942. His family migrated to Pakistan during the 1947 partition. And, that's a defining historical moment that shaped an entire generation. Starting with his early education at PAF Public School, he just rapidly ascended the ranks. He distinguished himself as the first pass out of the 26th PMA Long Course before earning his commission into the highly decorated Frontier Force Regiment back in 1962.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that his early impact wasn't just limited to the parade ground, it was highly academic. After attending the Royal College of Defense Studies in the UK for his master's degree, he earned a super unique distinction. He became the very first Pakistani officer to have his thesis published by the prestigious Seaford House Papers. That's a clear early indicator of his strategic mindset, right? It shows a leader who totally understood that modern warfare requires just as much intellectual rigor as physical discipline. And well, that brilliant mind was quickly tested out in the field over a remarkable 37-year service record. Think about that length of time. As a young officer, he gained crucial battlefield experience in the 1965 Indo-Pakistan War. Then he navigated the tremendously difficult period of the 1971 war, just steadily building this reputation for unflappable professionalism under immense pressure. Honestly, these real-world combat experiences really became the bedrock of his entire operational philosophy. That battlefield leadership eventually became instrumental in shaping modern Army doctrine. As Director General Military Training, he was a key planner for Exercise Zarb-e-Momin. If you aren't familiar, this was a massive, milestone military exercise. It was designed to rigorously test large-scale conventional warfare, logistics, and complex coordination among different branches. It's like a giant stress test, and it effectively modernized the armed forces' operational capabilities, ensuring they were prepared for the evolving threats of a totally new era. His ascent through the ranks was rapid, and it was globally minded. He actually headed Pakistan's military cooperation group in Somalia, gaining some vital international diplomatic experience that really broadened his strategic perspective. From there, he took on the absolute highest echelons of command. We're talking serving as commander as the 33rd Infantry Division, Deputy Chief of General Staff, Adjutant General, and finally, the highly prestigious post of Corps Commander Lahore. Each one of those roles demanded a totally different facet of leadership, from diplomacy to direct troop command. And this brilliantly illustrates where all that led. The culmination of those decades of service arrived in 1997. Upon his retirement as a 3-star general, he was awarded the Hila-e-Imtiaz military. This is one of Pakistan's absolute highest military decorations, a really glowing testament to a career dedicated entirely to national defense. For most people, this would be the well-deserved end of a distinguished public life. But for him, it was literally just a pivot. Civilian administration, governor to chief executive. Yeah, military retirement was really just the beginning of a brand new chapter. In 1997, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif appointed him as governor of Sindh. Now, this was a province actively grappling with severe political instability, rampant organized crime, and ethnic violence. It was a tough spot. Initially, he worked alongside provincial institutions to try and improve public security, but his role dramatically expanded in October 1998. When governor's rule was imposed, he assumed the additional direct authority of chief executive. He effectively became the sole administrator tasked with bringing discipline to an incredibly volatile province. That track record actually led to the most influential civilian position of his career, Federal Interior Minister from 1999 to 2002. He spearheaded some major structural shifts here, including sweeping police reforms, stringent drug control, and a modernized passport system. But most notably, he formed NADRA. This was a real game changer. It completely revolutionized the country's national identity documentation, creating a digital infrastructure that still impacts everyday citizens right now. It forms the very backbone of modern Pakistani civic planning and security. This role also placed him squarely at the center of some intense global crises. He oversaw the internal response and prosecution efforts during the tragic 2002 Daniel Pearl kidnapping case, an event that literally drew the eyes of the entire world. Furthermore, following the events of September 11th, he was tasked with leading a massive, unprecedented counterterrorism crackdown against banned militant organizations operating within the country, fundamentally reshaping internal security protocols. So the crucial point is that navigating these extremes leaves a deeply complex legacy. Supporters praise his disciplined professional crisis management during times of extreme domestic chaos. Critics, on the other hand, argue his sweeping security policies raised serious civil liberty concerns under military-led governance. These measures were heavily debated, and they carried a devastating personal cost for him, most notably the tragic assassination of his own brother in Karachi. It's just a stark, sobering reminder of the dangerous reality of his position. Let's move to and see how this builds into his later years. Leaving public office in 2002 didn't mean stepping out of the public eye at all. He poured his vast administrative experience straight into the corporate, educational, and philanthropic sectors. He served as chairman of Esker Bank and the Fatima Foundation, showing a continued commitment to institutional growth. And he did all this while remaining an active, prominent commentator, offering seasoned insights on national security. Which brings us to a final, thought-provoking question to leave you with. How often does a single career leave such an indelible mark on both a nation's military doctrine and the very framework of its internal civilian security? It's a fascinating duality of duty that makes Lieutenant General Moinuddin Haider's life sketch an absolutely essential piece of modern history. It perfectly illustrates those blurry lines between national defense and domestic stability. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and definitely keep exploring the history that shapes our world today.